Today on Here for the Right Reasons, Tayshia Adams and Kaitlyn Bristowe dish on how they thought Bachelorette Katie Thurston handled this week's drama.
When you're that emotionally invested, that means you're doing it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, we sat down with Tyler Cameron and Mike Johnson, who both revealed what they think about Katie as the new Bachelorette.
I think she's fantastic Bachelor material. I think she is someone that is going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of light.
She runs at her own speed. She runs at her own drum.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Here for the Right Reasons. Hi guys, Mandy DeCamp here with senior editor Sarah Huron. Welcome to Here for the Right Reasons. You sat down with Tayshia Adams and Kaitlyn Bristowe this week. They talked all about how Katie has been handling the drama so far this season. So let's take a look at that.
Also, episode 2, we're seeing some intentions being questioned already. How did you guys help Katie prepare for that?
Hit it head on.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like, guys are, putting their best foot forward and then behind the scenes things are being said, hit it head on and deal with it right at the beginning, because you don't want to have, 4 weeks in when all these other guys have gone home and you're still dealing with this issue. Do it as soon as you can and get the guys that are really there for the right reasons to be there.
Yeah.
How do you handle the combination, though, of what you're hearing everyone saying and then drawing your own conclusions as the lead who might have a different relationship one-on-one with the contestant?
I think that's what we've seen through so many years is It's always a he said, she said game of telephone. And I think that's what's nice about Katie is that she did take that advice and she did address it. And it wasn't like, well, let me have a conversation with this person, or like go straight to the source and let's figure this out. We got love to find.
Yes. Katie told me, actually, she credits you guys for stopping her from maybe quitting a little early on her journey. What can you tease to me about how you helped her through that and her low point, as she described it, on the journey?
We all have a low point.
Yes. And it's nothing new.
No.
We've both been there. In fact, a lot of the Bachelorettes have been there.
I don't think there'd be one who had said like they didn't, at one point through everything say, I don't know if I can do this.
Right. I completely agree.
That's just part of when you're that emotionally invested, that means you're doing it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Thank you guys. I think I got to go, but I can't wait to watch the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So what do you think about their advice for her?
I mean, I think they are right. Katie is the kind of person who needs to confront it head on. And I think looking back, they probably wished they got rid of people early. And that's clearly what Katie did, which I know we're going to get into, but she's not messing around.
She's really not. I mean, I like it. I think, it's making us care more about the people we should care about early on. So I think good for her.
That's true. I mean, a little harsh, but again, we'll get into it. But before we do, I also sat down with 2 of our favorite Bachelor Nation men, Tyler Cameron and Mike Johnson, who shared their thoughts on Katie's journey so far. So take a look. Let's talk about the Bachelorette premiere. You watched it, right?
Of course I did. I had to watch Katie.
Of course. What do you think overall, Katie, first impressions of her taking the lead?
First impressions of Katie is that she runs at her own speed. She runs at her own drum. I absolutely love that.
I think she's fantastic Bachelor material. I think she is someone that is going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of light. I think I really enjoyed what she stood up for, when on the show. And she has a heart and like a really compassionate heart. So I think, her heart is something, someone needs to treat her right and take care of her heart. So I'm hope, I hope for success with her. I haven't watched yet. Maybe I'll watch, but I'm not really. I've been so busy. I haven't been able to watch anything.
Fair. In general, though, do you have advice that you would give contestants whose lives are about to change as they kind of blow up on Instagram, on social media, people weighing in?
Yeah, stick to yourself, stick to your people, and kind of just roll with that. Have fun with it. Don't read too far into the negatives. Don't read too far into the good. Just have fun with it, be true to yourself and true to your people. That's really the best advice I got to. A lot of people lose themselves in it. And, that's kind of what I love being back here in Florida is I'm back with my people. And it's kind of why I'm not back in New York as much is because I enjoy my people more so than I enjoy the rat race.
I love them. I do.
It's really hard not to smile when you see Tyler C. I mean, I can't help it.
No, he's great. And Mike also told you that he needs a girlfriend. So I think we should tell everyone, start sliding into his DMs.
I feel like he should have gone back to Paradise. I think he could have had another good shot in Paradise. I don't know why he didn't go. They're filming now. So since he's talking to me, I don't think he's in Mexico.
Yeah, unless he's going to be like one of those like final week guys who pops in.
Yeah, I think I feel like it's his time. I don't know. Maybe he's holding out hope to be the Bachelor again or be the Bachelor, period. I don't know.
Could be, yeah. Wouldn't hold out too long though.
Totally.
All right, so let's get into last night's episode. We have a lot to unpack here. First up, your Bachelor buzzwords. I have a few, so where are you starting?
I have a few too, but my first one is flannel.
That's one of mine's mad for plaid. Okay, it was cuter.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I forgot that I, needed to rhyme. Okay, but like, Katie isn't a country girl. Why is everyone?
I meant to Google before we started. Where is she from? Because I was
Washington.
like, I totally thought she was from like Nashville after that episode.
No, and I know they're in New Mexico, and there's an aspect there, I guess. But between the Canadian tuxedo outfits, the flannel, the cowboy boots, the fishing, I mean,
I totally thought she was Southern after that. I was like, I didn't think she was Southern, but she must be.
No, and there's no accent. It was wildly confusing. I mean, they all looked cute, and I guess the guys took their shirts off anyway. But I could not believe how much flannel it was. Like Ben Affleck and J-Lo are wearing the same flannel, and then all these guys are walking around with the hills. We can't escape flannel, and it's summer. It's not fall.
It's not fall. It's not pumpkin spice latte season yet. We need to hold off.
Literally.
I need neon.
Yeah, there's so many other ways we can do it. And this was filmed. I'm still confused about the weather in New Mexico. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I agree.
My other word was right reasons. I mean, things were being questioned. I know this is here for the right reasons. I know that the phrase it's always used, but I feel like they leaned into it a lot for episode 2.
They sure did. And we'll get into that whole Carl situation, but I wasn't sure if it was warranted yet, I was like, I don't know if we know who's there yet for the right reasons. I don't think we know enough. They're not telling us enough.
We certainly don't know. I don't know if Aaron knows, but he was acting like he knew. Carl was acting like he knew. It was a lot of people just saying things with authority with no
receipts. No receipts.
What is this?
I don't know. I was very confused. We'll get into that. Did you have any more buzzwords?
No, those are mine. Flannel and right reasons.
Okay, so mine was mad for plaid, which we talked about. My next one was vulnerable. I liked that a lot of the guys got very vulnerable this episode. Yeah. We had them both talking about their dads who had passed on the date, Greg and her. We heard from Andrew, who was talking about growing up and he wasn't super well off. And then she opened up about how they would get free lunches and things like that, which, I mean, I felt like those were very real, raw moments that we don't usually see this early on.
I totally agree. But what I'm
and the virgin.
Yes, a virgin, of course. But about the vulnerable thing, it's so interesting because I know a lot of people had questions about why they picked Katie and Chris Harrison, and this season overall, people were kind of maybe not into it.
I was one of them, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was definitely skeptical. I said it on the show several times.
Yeah.
But in the first couple episodes, we've seen so much that I feel like we were missing from Matt's season. I've gotten to know Katie so quickly. I've gotten to know these guys so quickly. We are getting drama still. There seems to be connections. Like everything we like about The Bachelor is there. So people need to give it a shot.
It's back. I think The Bachelor's back.
Me too. I don't know if anyone else who think that way, but I think it's back.
I do too. My other buzzword was final 3. Like that's the only issue is I kind of already feel like I could narrow this down to the top 3. Like Greg, Kat Connor.
Yeah.
And then this, I take it back after seeing the preview for next week, but I was going to say Thomas.
Okay. But then maybe Andrew S.
Oh, the virgin.
No, Mike. That's Mike. Andrew S. is the guy who was didn't have money.
Yes. I like him a lot too. Maybe him instead of Thomas after seeing next week's preview.
Okay. I mean,
but okay, maybe not top 3, but I feel like there's a top 5 to 6 that I could be like, if it was just these 6 guys, I'd still watch for the rest of the season.
Wow, a statement.
Yeah. Well, and the virgin, actually, I want up there too. I still stand by that from last week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All
right.
Okay, we have to get to our best line of the night. As always, I'm rigging your rules, and I have 2 because one is silly and one is serious, and I think it represents the episode.
Yes.
So my first one was from Justin. who is kind of a little bit of an unsung hero in this episode. Him and John, which we'll get to, kind of random. But Justin said, please, if we can get this guy some Xanax or a muzzle, let's do it ASAP, talking about Carl. And I was like, retweet, I am so over Carl.
I'm over Carl. I was over Carl then. Little did I know all that was to come.
Literally all that was to come. And
that was a good line.
My other one was, I see you being here for a while if you want to be, which was Katie to Greg. And that stood out to me for a few reasons. One, clearly their connection is insane, that he is going the distance, but it feels like the first time a lead has ever said, if you want to be. Like, she's giving the guy some control too.
Yeah, I like that, actually. That's a good point. I actually came around a lot to Greg this week. Last week I just didn't see much. I was like, he's fine. Yeah. He's a lot cuter than I thought. He's cute. And I mean, it's really hard to like not see all the things they have in common and feel like, I mean, it was so vulnerable, like you said. Yeah. I feel like Katie is doing something right. I can't believe she, you know, maybe they just never show it, but it really feels like the first lead who's ever been like, this is your journey too. Like usually it's like, this is my show. And if I was the lead, I'd be like, this is my show. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm really into a few of these guys for her. And I actually think they can work. It's going to work. I really hope so. 6 years from now, they're going to be married. Kids. It's going to be a Bachelor success. And I think it's because of her. What were your lines? Okay, I just have the one. It's going to Catman Connor, my favorite. It was while he was singing. And he said, I have to read it. My greatest love here, or the greatest love here, let's not let the question linger. Remember, I play piano. I'm amazing with my fingers. You didn't want to sing it? No, I'm going to pass on that. I have a crush on him. I like him a lot. And I just feel like and now he can sing. I'm like, okay, let's just lock this up. I definitely liked him a lot more without the cat costume on. I almost feel like Katie didn't though. Like, she definitely still liked him, but she really they kept bringing up the cat costume. She really did. My only issue though, again, it's like, I feel like I know who she's going to pick, and then they show the preview for next week. What does he do? He does something. I don't know. It seems like they all are just turning on each other so quickly that it's really hard to know. And we don't have like a reliable narrator. Because Katie doesn't even know what's going on. Like, even with all the drama that went down this week, Katie seems just as confused as everybody else. So we need I guess it could have been a Chris Harris. Maybe Tayshia and Kaitlyn need to get involved. Where are they? I don't know. Don't come around that often. They were only at the 2 dates, very much hosting it, but not even like checking in at the night portion or during the cocktail party. I was surprised when she was having her breakdown. Yeah. Sorry. I guess they wanted to send the guys in to maybe further those relationships instead, but I felt like we needed maybe someone telling us what was going on. I agree. And like consulting with Katie. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the thirstiest moment portion just has to be like anything that happened at the sex date. Yeah. No, just wrap that up. I mean, that was an intense, like, just right off the bat, let's just talk about sex again. And I'll get it. My cringe is for the sex date, but my thirstiest moment goes to the whole Kody and Aaron situation, which I still don't feel like I get. Now one of them's gone, so it's fine. We can move on from at least that part. But I still feel like I'm missing pieces to that puzzle. And I felt like the whole thing was just, they're both trying to get their name out there, and it was a little thirsty for me. Yeah, I totally get that. I think that my confusion with these two is why Katie was so quick to believe Aaron. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't think Kody's some great catch that she just lost. Like, it was definitely harsh to cut him that quickly. I don't think she's going to regret it. However, I don't get her like believing Aaron so quickly and thanking him for protecting her. I was like, that might be a stretch. Protecting her from what? He gave us no facts. No facts, no receipts. I don't understand why she didn't send them both home, to your point. Unless there was a producer being like, you got to get this guy to stick around because there's more to unravel. I don't know. But I feel like she wouldn't go for that. So I don't know.
I totally agree. And I think if she was going to send one home, she should send both home to make a statement. And why believe, I guess Kody did have like a pretty bad response to it, like she said. But I think also sometimes you're so thrown off and you're like, oh, is this really happening? Oh my God, I'm being the villain. What do I do? Like, that's what I'd be thinking. I was like, oh, this edit is going to whatever. How do I defend myself? And he tried to be like, what are you talking about? And she had no response. So it was kind of a no-win situation. I definitely agree. There's probably thirst on both sides. And I also think Aaron probably was more down to play the producer's game and go for it and bring up their past, because Kody obviously thought they were going to just pretend they didn't know each other, which is a silly concept. And I think that Aaron was like, all right, I'll blow it up for you, producers.
Yeah, true. At least he's being honest that they knew each other.
Yeah. My thirsty was really just like, I think it was James, the president, like stripping for the sex date. I'm not even judging him for it, because that whole date, like, I don't know what I would have done either. And it was awkward, but I think that, that was a little bit of a thirst monster move, but we got
totally.
Sometimes.
Right.
Thirst is good.
I didn't mind it.
I agree. He's a good looking dude.
Yes. All right. My cringe, just the whole virgin situation on the sex date. Like, oh my God. Like, watching him have to tell her on stage with an audience. Oh, that was not right. That was not okay. Great entertainment, but I felt for him. I was like sweating. I agree. I think that was definitely like not fair, but I really feel like he handled it well. Because when I initially was planning my cringe and everything, I had it written down. I was like, oh, the question marks, this is so awkward. But I actually was pretty impressed with the way he carried himself. And I was like, it is cringe a little bit, but it was kind of endearing. It was. And like, it went in his direction, like it went his way. Like it came out with him being like, oh, he's awesome. Like, I love him, where it could have been like, that's a little strange, but it came out nice for him. Like if Luke P from Hannah Brown season did that, because he, was like very whatever about sex and just bad person, then we all would have been like, oh, whatever. But Mike sold it. He did. I will give him that. And it could have been more cringy. And even when they were like the question marks, they weren't like pushing it, which was nice. Like they just were like, oh, a mystery. Because if they were like, no one was making fun of it, like the guys were supportive. It was kind of like a nice little thing. A nice cringe. But I did cringe. Yes, but I cringed too. My cringe is just all things Carl. Him dodging the question about his last relationship during their one-on-one, that weird handcuff gag thing failing, his warning to her later on, everything the guy did, I just was like, go away, Carl. Go home, Carl. Go home, Carl. Pack your bags. It's time. What did he say? I wrote it down. Hold on. Let me find it. He said something like, don't ask what you can do for the Bachelorette, or ask what she can do for us. Or maybe it was the opposite. I can't remember, but I was just like, oh, he's just trying to be... He's a thirst trap. He's a thirst monster. And did he even know what he was saying when he was talking to the guys, saying that there's a lot of people not here for the right reasons? Or was that just coming out of his mouth and he couldn't? I think it came out of thin air. I think he was suddenly just like, I'm going to stir up drama. And he had no proof, nothing. It was bizarre. I mean, at least the guys caught on quickly that like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We're going to call him out now. Yeah, it was very funny how quickly they turned it around on him. But like, he's a motivational speaker. Yeah, he's really good at this. It kind of reminds me how like Taylor Mocha was, or no, Taylor Mocha. It kind of reminds me how Taylor Nolan was like, is a therapist, and she got into like the mental health fights with Corinne. She's supposed to be a motivational speaker, right? And she's like stirring the pot. Like that's not how this works. No, I'm not hiring him to get me ready for my next meeting if he's gonna, accuse me of something I didn't do. Right, or at least like be a good speaker about it. Convince us, persuade us. Yeah, got nothing. Yeah, no, nothing at all. I really think he started talking. He was putting himself in a hole and he didn't know how to get out of it. But you said, the guys called him out, which was great because they are all bonding. So we know there are some gems in there because they're all sticking together. Yeah. There's some good gems. Yes. Okay. Who does your Us Weekly Rose go to this week? Okay. So my Us Weekly Rose goes to John. He was the one who tried to tell Carl to stop talking about other people. Mm-hmm. And he also was so nervous during the wrestling fight thing, but he still did it. And I just really feel like he's an underrated character right now. And I'm rooting for him. And also Justin, who was dragging Carl. So anyone who was dragging Carl or defending Carl gets a rose from me. That mud date was something. Yeah, and the opposite of my rose is for all these wrestling dates. I'm over them. I know. It's They're stretching because there's not much they can do during COVID. Like they can't really travel anywhere. So they can't go taste food that's like from an unusual region. So it's like a lot of these physical things that I'm not into.
And even when the girls and the guys, I'm always like, this is stupid. And Katie said, she's like, I'm not here to watch. Like, I don't care if you can wrestle, whatever. But then they gave the belt buckle to Aaron, who beat Kody, doesn't like Kody, and like I don't know. I didn't like that aspect of this episode.
Yeah, I'm not into it either.
Who is your rose for?
So my rose went to Thomas's makeout on that couch. That was like intense. I was like, wow, who are you?
I was shocked.
Yeah. But then again, the preview ruined Thomas for me. But we'll say.
Josh Murray looks had ruined Thomas for me on night one, but I will say he's getting more action than I thought he was going to.
Ooh, sorry, what do you say?
Him looking like Josh Murray, in my opinion.
Oh, that was him.
Yes, ruined him on night one.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting that vibe, but their makeout was something. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it was intense. And then the Virgin, I love him. He's up there. He was my, backup for my final rose. So
okay. You want it to be known. You have faith in this Virgin going very far.
I do. Because I just like the fact that she's like sex positive and he's a virgin. I like that combination.
It definitely would give the fantasy suite a great aspect. Oh, yeah. So they might keep him around just for that. I also wrote down Greg, of course, because I'm sorry. I really think he like has it in the bag with this bonding over their dads. Like it's inevitable.
No, yeah. He stood out to me a lot this week. And I feel like because he got the first impression and he got the first one-on-one now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's up there. I think he might be here, if not the final two.
Yeah. It might break all of our hearts when she sends him home.
Yeah.
All right. Pack your bags. Who needs to go?
All right. Pack your bags. I have the sex puns. Like when the date card said like, let's get down and dirty. I'm like, all right. After we just watched an entire sex date, I was like, okay, let's calm down a little bit with the sex puns. Let's move on from that now. It's time. Obviously, Carl. We already sent him home. He's
done. In my brain, he's gone.
Yeah. And that's who I have. That's all.
I have Aaron just because even though I don't like Kody and I have heard from people who know him in New Jersey that he's not the nicest guy on the planet, I kind of think he needs a little justice. It didn't really make sense to me.
No, it didn't.
And also, in general, I'll add to that, not giving us context. I need the show to give us some more context.
Yeah, I know.
Their feud still makes no sense. There are a few other things, all these here for the right reasons stuff. Not all of it's totally making sense to me. I think they're leaving too much on the cutting room floor, even though the episode is filled with a lot of different stuff, which is nice. They're still missing a balance a bit. And also Hunter, random, but he was the guy who was like feelings were really hurt that he didn't get a group date rose. And it's like, go home.
It's like day 2, Hunter. Calm down.
I don't like when they're, you want to show.
Does he have a kid at home?
No, that's the other Mike.
Okay, that one I did feel a little bit bad for.
At first I had him written down. I was like, oh my God, like get over it. I don't care. Yeah. But then she made it seem like she liked him. And I was like, okay, I'll give him a pass. He does feel something for her. And he does have a kid. I should probably be sensitive for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say like with the fight that we saw, I can't wait for the men tell all to find out what the reason behind this is. But those are the typical people who at the tell all are like the loudest ones. And you're like, who are you again? You got sent home week 1. So yeah.
I guess in theory, since they both made it past night 1, there's been guys like that who have gotten sent home on night 1 and she didn't do it then. So that's why it feels so like bizarre for us to see it happen on week 2. But in theory, like if someone like I don't know, I feel like they're like that Waboom guy.
Oh yeah. Lucas.
Yeah. He gets sent home on night 1. So Kody could have been a situation like that, but instead it happened week 2. But I still think we need to know more. I need deleted scenes.
Maybe someone will blog about it this week and we'll find out. We can update you guys next week.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Sarah. Make sure everyone tune in to Here for the Right Reasons every Tuesday on our YouTube channel around 3 p.m. I'll see you next week. Bye.
We did it.